as back then, the ancients used to see the column as symbolic of something that had meaning. It was more than just a piece of structure. And in some kind of weird way, using kind of newer materials, we're able to give the same attention to the beauty that a column could give or possibly give. I think that's what we're trying to establish. I really do.
The point of communicating about this column, one of the points might be the extensive amount of time it took to construct this thing. This column behind me, it's about 12 feet tall. Say probably it's around like 4 feet in diameter, which is basically a pretty small piece of material. But it represents literally thousands of hours of work. And the final tally hasn't come in yet, but the shaft alone is probably 600 feet of welding the plastic together. And that's a lot of work. That's many and many all-nighters, very little sleep. So if offhandedly you just look at the column and think, oh, that's it, at least try to think about how much work exactly went into it. It was a lot.
Okay. So it's been a rough couple of days. I have to wear this respirator all the time. You may have a hard time understanding this.
But main issue right now is nobody's probably ever going to see this, me talking to you, or anybody else for that matter, because we're in big trouble. We have 5 weeks left until finals is over, and we have most of the capital to build yet, and a 30-minute video to make. And that spells
you can take my name off that account.
If we don't get the video done, I feel like we're going to fail. So hopefully this comes out. Hopefully we pull through. If the capital's not done, the column's not done, it doesn't bother me, as long as we have something to show about the process of architecture and all that. Thanks.
Okay, we've got 1 month left, and to do. Nobody's working today, so we're looking for them. We're going to catch them while they're procrastinating. What's going on in here?
Too much light in here.
Yeah, don't worry, I can adjust it.
What's that? Is a column screaming from downstairs?
I don't know why you guys aren't working on it. What are you doing up here? Doesn't seem there's much hope amongst the group members that we'll actually accomplish this task, completing the column. Or if we do complete the column, this video that we're filming is going to be a terrible waste. We can't do anything but keep going at this point.
This is a piece of the collar for all you guys out there in TV land. This is about the same as watching some of those other shows. I know what you're thinking right now. Wish I could see those guys with the coffee cups and stealing lemonade. The technique is to tap the plastic down after you heat it a little too much. If you get any cuts in it, it helps seal them up. March 31st, 2003?
I think a lot of people, and myself, are doubting a lot of things. Not only if we can get it done, but the value or importance of building this column or whatever. And I think it's really hurting the group right now because nobody really wants to do this anymore. We've got 5 weeks left to struggle to get something, and we know that we're not going to reach what we want. Also, we're praying that we can get the column up, but I don't know. It was a big project. I think we were kind of overwhelmed with the task that we had to do, and it's not looking so cheery like it used to.
Issue of time again. So the discussion about how long this takes has come in. So thousands of hours probably. On a larger note, architecture in general just takes forever, just to make anything. I mean, anybody that's involved with creating can understand how long it takes. So, general fact, to get your architectural degree in 5 years, you have more credits than you need to get a master's degree in engineering. And the amount of time you put in is probably greater, even though, like, the mind doesn't necessarily have to focus as much. It's like some other strange state. And especially this semester, I feel like we've had to do that, where we turned into, like, blue-collar manufacturers, essentially. And we get really tired of that. We always have. At least I know I have. Because you get an idea, and then you see it in your mind. But before it's there, you have to go through this terrible process that's physically painful. It's exhausting. And so the amount of time you have to put in to see anything, I didn't understand that until my freshman year. And one of the first projects we did was the pattern project, which we had a hammer, or another object. I had a hammer. And we were given it, and we were told to make it out of paper, which essentially was what this project was supposed to be. And I remember sitting down and thinking, the professors are just crazy. Like, how am I supposed to make this out of paper? And that's when I started to have to look closely at things and put the time into making something interesting. So I tell my family I just learned to be like anal retentive, which is in a lot of ways is all it takes. But there's something kind of magical about it. I know people have this view of architects as like these creative, flamboyant individuals that just kind of go out and do whatever. But for the most part, it's just really